Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. How's it going, everyone? It's been a while. How's life? Pretty good. Pretty good. I've been a bit quiet the past couple of weeks because I don't know if you guys have been reading the newsletters, but I've basically been waiting for this chop to resolve. I think I made a good decision to avoid the last 2 weeks of price action. I'm glad I did. Now we've finally got a break and hopefully we get some better moves now. Well, these are my levels currently. Like, the way I see it is fairly straightforward for me. You know, these guys are well on side now. So really, this is where I'm looking to short if it gets up here. Whichever comes first, really. I'd probably punt along in this area, and I'd probably punt a short in this area, really. It's very simple. Very simple. I don't think it's very likely that it's a new bull trend. Like, if this is the bottom, then I think it's more likely that we, you know, trade in here. Maybe we trade this range for the entire year. You know, it could be a similar situation to sort of back here. Yeah, maybe we get this for 2 or 3 years. Like, why is no one acknowledging the length of time previous bear markets have taken? And really, me personally, I still hold the belief that the size of this bull market relative to this one, I could expect this to go for much longer, in my opinion. 2025, 2026. Pretty, you know, it's fairly rational, you know, logical thinking, in my opinion, that I think people you know, aren't really acknowledging or contemplating. People still have like this fresh in their memory, in my opinion, and the people think we're just going to bottom after like 3 or 4 months and then get a move like this. I just don't see it. There's just not enough. There's not enough interest. There's not enough activity. There's not enough participation. There's not enough demand, in my opinion, to get any sustained bull market anytime soon. It's going to take a long time for people to sort of reaccumulate it, in my opinion. I personally see inflation. I don't think inflation just gradually goes down. I think it's going to fluctuate. I think you're going to get spikes, and I think you're going to get drops. And that's going to cause, you know, fear in the market. And I would also question and ask yourself, so what are we down on inflation now since the peak? 2%? You really got to ask yourself, is the first 2% the easiest, or is the last 2% the easiest? Because in my opinion, it's going to get gradually harder to get to that target of whatever it is, 2%. You know, so if we've gone from 8 to 6, I think from 6 to 4 is harder, and then I think 4 to 2 is even harder. So I think it's going to extend that timeline. So if it's taken a year to bring it down 2%, then I think it's going to drag on and take longer to get to that 2%. It's going to be a long journey, in my opinion. It's too hard to trade this market. Reduce your expectations and be happy to lock in small gains. That's the only way you're going to make it, mate. You really got to reduce your expectations massively. Increasing my capital, that's all I'm bothered about. I've said it before, but for me, there's 2 types of markets. There's wealth generating markets, and then there's wage generating markets. And right now, and for the foreseeable future, it's a wage. So it's a wage market, you know. My top 3 traders. That is a really good question. I got to put CBS in there. I've always been a big fan of CBS. Magus is a great trader. Charlie as well, man. Charlie's a great trader. What's my best trade? Don't remember. Yeah, best trade buying Hogwarts Legacy. Gaming during the chops, probably my best trade. What was your idol in trading when you was on the start? Brian Watt, probably. Brian Watt. I like John Moulton too. Rambo, he's a phenomenal trader. I think one of the standout lessons I learned from him is when he said it's just a fucking trade. Put it in the book and move on to the next one. We'll look at gold. In fact, we'll look at silver, because I think silver, for any sort of new budding traders, silver is the textbook greatest chart there is. came back, retested consolidation, rallied into resistance, and now it's pulling right back into the mid-range. I think for sort of intraday trading, scalping, I think this 20.8 level is really nice. Where do I see Litecoin heading? Well, my take profit's at like 84. I think if it gets back above 94, then I'll cut the trade. Where do I think Sol will head? Back, in fact, to be honest, I'd target these lows at 16.5. You know, the reason this broke down, in my opinion, is the fact that the sellers came in and initiated the move at the top of this candle, and the fact that it moved swiftly away from range low at this level with shorts like entering. This is an indicator to me that it's ready for an expansive move down. So really, I'd be surprised if we saw price get back above. I'd sort of mark this single print as your bull bear invalidation around 22,320. This should cap price here, in my opinion. Any thought? That was it. Matic. Everyone mentions Matic. Let's have a look. If this coin's above $1 still, I'm going to lose my shit. Unbelievable. Fucking coin. This coin's weird. I just don't understand the bullishness of it. What's so good about Matic? Maybe I'm just salty that I literally could have owned an island with the amount of Matic I used to own. There's literally a fart could topple this over, you know what I mean? There's literally, uh-oh, what's happening? I'm getting an alert, guys, it's over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Like, me personally, it's a fade level here, but if it doesn't literally do that, I'm out. I'm done. It's going to zero. If you think this is going to be a lot of like a sustained bull market, I think you need to get your head tested. But really, like, the ideal scenario is if you're trading a bull market, like if we take this as a fractal, this could likely be a 3 or 4% rotation. So your margin for error in these situations is so good. Like if this is a 4% rotation, I only have to capture this part. Yeah, and I've probably captured 1.5%. Whereas in a low volatility environment, in order to make it worth my while trading it, I've got to enter here and exit here. So my margin for error is minuscule. Yeah, I literally have to almost pico bottom and top it to make it worth my while to scalp it. Does that make sense? So the wider the rotations and the more volatile, the more room there is for margin of error, basically. And as a scalper, there's plenty of margin for error, and really it's about finding the environment where it doesn't matter. Like in a good market environment, I can make money just on this part. It doesn't matter how, you know, I could make money here, I could make money here, and I could make money here, so I could split it into 3 trades. Whereas now I really have to try and capture the majority of the move to make it worth my while. So that's why I'm not scalping at the minute. I think that's pretty good description, actually. It's probably quite useful. What's my triggers on the small scalps? So really when it's a good that's kind of, see, this is the thing, like you see how it's not coming up into the bands, but I'd be looking for this kind of structure, you know, these 1 minute RSI divergences, and really in a nice bull market, you pretty much, I have these bands are kind of set up for premium bull market. But the way I'd trade it in a bull market is, one cool thing to note is like it's the size of the rotation from the band to the EMA. So in a bull market, this might be 2 or 3%, and then this might be 2 or 3%. So the actual gap between the bottom band to the top band is like 4 to 6%, whereas now it's 1%. So really in a bull market, all I'm doing all day, every day, just repetitively and mechanically, is I'd be trading 1 minute divs in the bands. So I'd enter here and I'd close at the midpoint. I'd enter here and I'd close at the midpoint. Whereas now I need a full rotation all the way from the top band to the bottom band to the top band just to capture 1%. So it's just not worth it. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't think there's many people better at scalping on CT than me, to be honest. And I say that as humbly as Suzu. Yeah, Mari's a really good scalper. Yeah, okay. So people I think the 2 people I wouldn't particularly want to compete against in scalping are Magus, and Salsa. Those two are really impressive. But yeah, gonna get off, guys. If you enjoyed the stream and you feel like supporting the stream, you can use my Bybit ref link if you like. No obligation, but it's in the description if you want. Streams are sponsored by Bybit, so thanks to them. I almost forgot again, like every week. But yeah, I'll be back next week, and it'll probably be Wednesday as usual. But stay safe out there, guys. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Friday. Bye.